Oh my goodness. Da 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 da. What's my good cheer? Welcome, welcome everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never met me before, popped into one of these lives. Hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside, and it's about to get real, people. And it is in my choices. Oh my goodness, I am so grateful for that one lesson, right? No matter how things work out, we have to initiate that change in our lives. And that's just taking that first action in that thought, in that belief, that's something that's just gnawing at you, your dreams, your goals, right? Sometimes you have no idea what that pull is. But if you follow that pull, and that pull can be scary, it can be such a decision that you know that you're going to be stepping into some big doo doo. But if you've hung out with me for any length of time, you know that I am, right, the daughter of somebody who loved quotes. And one of my favorite quotes, and I'm going to have to say, I don't know where I picked up this quote, right? But I've already lost it in that anticipation of sharing it. But if it is meant to be shared, it will come right back to me. Sometimes you got to make a mess to clean a mess. There it is, right? It came back to me. It came back to me, and I thought I lost it. If you've hung out with me for any length of time, you know that mid sentence I could just drop the topic because it is in that sometimes of that moment slate triggering that I don't quite understand, right? Cindy, the human, she don't understand that. Those things that affect those other parts of me, but I believe I'm getting better at it, right? I believe truly that I'm getting better at it. But sometimes in that need for change, we have to make that choice because if we don't make that choice will be made for us. Sometimes in that paying attention, sometimes in taking those lessons and building up that tool belt, sometimes just by the skin of our teeth. Sometimes it's just pure luck. But again, sometimes it's just asking, right? If it's important, come back, right? And that idea of sometimes you gotta make a mess to clean a mess, that's 100% true. When I was a kid, my mom said, go clean your room, right? You want your allowance this weekend? Go clean your room. And I'd walk in that door and go, because me and all my sisters, we all shared the same room. But if I wanted my allowance, right? And if I was going to have to clean my room, I was going to do a darn good job at it. And so I would start by pulling things out from underneath the bed and throwing all the clothes and all the clean clothes and the dirty clothes because now it's been lying around and mixed up with each other for so long that it's just one conglomerate of mess. All those leftover dishes and right food that somehow rolled underneath the bed and right you barely got to it before the bugs did. Right? And you pull it all out and you look at it and you're exhausted because that's work too. And you're exhausted at pulling out all that mess, right? And you just want to sit down, you want a snack, you want the remote control, you want the couch and the TV, right? Or you want a video game, you want to zone out from all that effort. But there's that reward, isn't it? That that allowance. If you want your allowance, clean your room. And I don't know how to do anything, but in doing it the very best that I know how. And sometimes, right, you got to make a mess to clean a mess. And that room would get put back together, right? I could have swept everything underneath the bed. I could have shoved more stuff into the hallway closet, or, right? I could have done all of that and it would have looked good, right? But the moment I opened up that door, all that stuff would have fallen on me again, right? If you're going to do it, you got to do it well. And again, you have no idea sometimes what's being inspired. Sometimes it's inspired by a beautiful landscape. Sometimes it's clean your room or else, right? For each of us, it's a little bit different. But in our choices, right, we can choose to do a good job, or we can ignore that and end up without the allowance, or end up with an agitated mother who, right, told you to go clean your room and you couldn't even bother to do that. And right, because your dad's so lenient that you know you're going to get your allowance anyway, right? And then you start playing in those other games that you picked up those lessons, right? And it's in our choices whether to use those tools. I have switched my tools over so many times, but if need be, I will pull them up in order to serve a lesson, or, right, to clean up a little bit of a mess because I'm on the move. Time of change, right? This is being a little bit tough on yourself. That's that tough love. That's you're going on a diet. That's right. You're going to pick up a new regime so that you're going to read one book in leadership, or you're going to do one thing. You're going to start taking your vitamins again, or you're going to do something for yourself, right? And for me, sometimes in that need for instant gratification, right, that change is always coming, right? Because I'm making those choices, and I would much rather make one grand, amazing choice that will get me to where I need to be or where I should be, rather than all those little choices that, yes, right, I'm going to get all of that. But is it necessary? Or am I pulling myself out of where I'm really supposed to be putting my attention? I don't know, right? Those are all going to be in the choices that I make. And unless I'm willing to make a doozy, right, that big change is not going to come into my life. I can shuffle everything underneath the bed and look everything hunky dory, put a smile on my face, and maybe somebody might not be any worse for wear because they're still getting that smile. But it's that heart, right? It's that want to and not need to that I'm searching out in this moment. And sometimes that requires making some difficult choices. And I'm so grateful, right, to have a few boundaries set up in my life so I can recognize when those U turns are about to happen, or to better prepare myself by switching out those tools on my tool belt because they do need to be switched out on occasion, right? That's choice and that's change too. And those are all lessons that you get to keep, right? To my understanding. Okay, you guys, that's why good cheer. I've got to run off to work. I'm up for the challenge. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.